This movie, The Hidden Face, begins with Adrian, a brilliant young orchestra conductor with a promising future, is deeply in love with his girlfriend, Belen. But his life changes in an instant when he receives a heartbreaking video message from her. In it, Belen tearfully tells him she still loves him but cannot continue their relationship. She asks him not to come after her, leaving him stunned and devastated. The video plays over and over in his mind as Adrian staggers to the bathroom, splashing cold water on his face in a futile attempt to compose himself. He pours himself a stiff drink, drains it quickly, and storms out of the house into the pouring rain, his emotions as turbulent as the weather. Adrian drives aimlessly through dark, wet streets until he stops at a quiet bar. Seeking solace in alcohol, he orders whiskey, his grief evident. The bartender, Fabiana, notices him and exchanges whispers with a coworker, remarking that she hates to see grown men cry. Her friend cynically says men only cry when guilty, but Fabiana shakes her head. She sees sadness, not guilt, in Adrian's demeanor. Later, when the bar closes, Fabiana approaches him gently, urging him to leave. Adrian is extremely drunk and stumbles outside, accidentally bumping into a man, sparking a brief fight that is broken up by the man's girlfriend. Fabiana finds Adrian outside, concerned for his safety, and asks if he can drive. He hands her his car keys and, in a moment of vulnerability, asks if he can come with her. Amused yet sympathetic, she agrees. In the car, music plays softly from the radio, and Adrian, lost in the sound, begins conducting with sweeping motions, revealing his passion for music despite his broken heart. Rather than take him to his own mansion, Fabiana drives him to her modest apartment, letting him sleep on her couch for the night. The next morning, Adrian wakes disoriented, unsure of where he is. Fabiana kindly offers him coffee and gently asks what had upset him so much the previous night, but Adrian avoids the question, drinks quickly, and leaves without saying goodbye. From her window, Fabiana watches him leave, intrigued by this mysterious man. At orchestra rehearsal later, Adrian struggles to concentrate. His mind is consumed by thoughts of Belen, and he ends class early, frustrating his musicians. That evening, guilt prompts him to return to the bar to apologize for his abrupt exit. He asks Fabiana if she'll sit with him, but she declines, saying she has to work. Instead, Adrian offers to take her somewhere special. He brings her to the Grand Theater where he conducts, walking her through the instruments and sharing his passion for music. They share an immediate connection. Before kissing him, Fabiana hesitates and asks if he's married or in a relationship. Adrian assures her he's single. Relieved, she kisses him, and they end up spending the night together at his home. The next morning, Fabiana wakes up early and curiously explores Adrian's sprawling mansion. She notices small but suspicious details, a second toothbrush in the bathroom, unfamiliar feminine items, and, more unsettlingly, strange noises coming from the drain. She meets Hans, Adrian's loyal German shepherd, and continues wandering. Downstairs, she finds a table filled with shoe design sketches, clearly not Adrian's work. Before she can investigate further, Adrian appears, inviting her to breakfast and redirecting her attention. Over breakfast, Fabiana remarks on how large and isolated the mansion is, asking why he doesn't live in the city. Adrian explains that solitude is essential for his creativity, then invites her to stay another night. She agrees, intrigued by this quiet yet intense man. Soon after, their peace is interrupted by two detectives, Francesco and Bernardo, investigating Belen's mysterious disappearance. Fabiana stiffens when she recognizes Bernardo. He's her ex-boyfriend. Adrian tells them Belen left without explanation and likely ran off with another man. The detectives search the property, combing the garden, which angers Adrian, who feels accused of burying her there. They leave with no evidence, but suspicion lingers. That night, Fabiana bathes in the elegant tub, but is startled when the still water ripples mysteriously. A violent storm cuts the power, making her scream, and Adrian rushes to calm her. As they prepare for bed, Hans stares fixedly at a cupboard mirror, unnerving her further. Days later, She secretly meets Bernardo, who warns her against Adrian, accusing her of trading a relationship with a poorly paid detective for one with a wealthy man. She defends Adrian, but Bernardo's skepticism unsettles her. Meanwhile, Adrian conducts a triumphant performance, introducing Fabiana to his manager Tito afterward. Tito hints that Adrian may leave the orchestra soon. Fabiana settles into life at the mansion, but her unease deepens. While showering one night, she is scalded when the water abruptly turns boiling. Later, she finds a key-shaped necklace beneath a floor grate. That night, a blackout frightens her again. Startled by Hans, she slips, hits her head, and faints. Adrian tends to her, but she admits she feels haunted by something in the house. Laughing, Adrian humors her fears, listening to the drain and dismissing the noise as wind in the pipes. He jokingly warns the ghost not to bother her. Soon after, Adrian is called to identify a charred female body, but insists it's not Belen. Returning home, he overhears Fabiana saying sorry to someone in the bathroom. She deflects, claiming she was quoting a book. As they hug, the camera reveals the truth. Behind the one-way glass, Belen is alive, trapped in a soundproof panic room. A flashback reveals her story. After moving abroad for Adrian's career, Belen grew suspicious of his closeness with a violinist, Veronica. When the mansion's previous owner showed her the hidden chamber, Belen decided to test Adrian's love. She recorded the breakup video, staged her departure, and locked herself inside, intending to watch his reaction. But the key slipped into a vent, trapping her. She screamed for help, but the soundproofing silenced her pleas. Days turned to weeks. She survived on spoiled canned food and rusty water while carving at the walls, her hope fading as she watched Adrian's grief turn to a new romance with Fabiana. Belen discovered she could manipulate water pipes to signal her presence. Fabiana eventually noticed but dismissed it. When Fabiana finally found the key, she hesitated, choosing to keep Belen trapped to secure her place in Adrian's life. Guilt gnawed at her, however, and she eventually unlocked the door and entered the chamber, only for Belen to attack her. Smashing a bottle over Fabiana's head, Belen escaped, locking Fabiana inside instead. She left a photo of herself with Adrian on the mirror as a message and slipped out of the mansion. Adrian later returned, puzzled by the mysterious key he found on the bed. Meanwhile, Belen found peace at a quiet beach, finally free. The film closes on the chilling image of Fabiana pounding helplessly on the glass of the secret chamber, now the prisoner of her own choices, while Hans, the loyal dog, calmly surveys his eerie, silent home. And the movie concludes.